Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, great for recovering alcoholic addict, just like every day. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like, drop me a comment, and by all means, share it with anybody who might get something out of it. Other than that, I'm going to get into the reading. Today, we're going to go with the daily reflections reading, which is titled "First Things First." First things first. Some of us have taken very hard knocks to learn this truth. Job or no job, wife or no wife, we simply do not stop drinking so long as we place dependence upon other people ahead of dependence on God. Before coming to recovery, I always had excuses for using, whether it was she said, he said, I got fired today, or I got a great job today. No area of my life could be good if I used again. In sobriety, my life gets better and better each day. I must remember not to use each day, to trust God and to stay active in my recovery program, and to ask myself, am I putting anything before my sobriety, before God, and before my recovery program? That's the reading today, guys. And I mean, it's I can promise you from firsthand experience that it's absolutely true. That was, I was not somebody that used strictly when I was upset, and I was not somebody that used strictly when I was happy. But I was somebody that used whether I was upset, whether I was happy, and anything and everything was an excuse. And that's all they were, just excuses, guys. You know what? If you're looking for fault in things, you're gonna find fault in things. If you're looking for excuses to do something, you're gonna find it. Whatever it is you are looking for, you're going to find. So, if you're looking for a good recovery and you're willing to work at it, you're looking for a good relationship with your higher power, God, and you're willing to work at it, you're going to find it. I found it, guys. I say this out of hope, out of love, out of compassion. Like, I am walking, living proof that this program works. I am somebody that fought this tooth and nail. I suffered brutally, guys. And I'm not, at somebody else's behest, at my own. I was so far out of whack in addiction, in life, in my thinking, in my behaviors, and putting up with the things I put up with, with just selling myself short, with putting myself through prison over and over again, putting myself through needless suffering, and then dealing with the momentum and the trajectory of my life after doing these things over and over and over and over and over again. Guys, I've done and been through horrendous things, like we all have. I'm not trying to say mine worse, but I'm saying the totality of everything I just went through for as long as I put myself through it. And that's exactly what it was, guys. Me putting myself through it. At the time, I would have told you with 100% conviction that it was anything but my fault. But now that I've developed a relationship with my higher power, whom I choose to call God, now that I'm starting to work a recovery program and I see what is possible on the other side of things, it has forced me to open my eyes and understand and thank my higher power that I fully understand that today. If I put anything, because I've done this so many times over, guys. I was always had a conditional recovery program. It was dependent upon this, and so long as this went this way, so long as I can do this, I'll do this. I always had a condition on everything, and you know what happened, guys? Every single fucking time, without fail, something would not meet my satisfaction, not meet my condition, and I would run rampant. And then that's all it took, because I hadn't changed my underlying behaviors. I hadn't changed my underlying way of thinking. My program, right? The program that my life was run on had not been cleaned up, had not been updated, it had not been fixed. So I end up right back at the square one, because as long as there's a condition, you're gonna find the condition, because that's a reservation in the back of your head, and you're gonna, as long as you have a condition on it, you're going to do something to make yourself get to that condition, or life's going to throw it at you, just give you what you're asking for, basically. It doesn't have to be that way, guys. I cannot believe on a daily basis, like literally, guys, the way I talk to you in these videos, this is the way I am 24/7 all day long. I am one of the happiest people you will ever meet, because I've been given a completely fresh start, a clean slate from which to build, and I've been able to overcome every single one of the ridiculous situations and barriers that I put in front of myself for decades. Guys, nothing in my past is stopping me from doing anything I want today. And I can truly tell you, I can do anything I want. And again, my wants aren't crazy, so that does help. I'm not trying to say that, I'm going to go out and get elected to president tomorrow, because it's not something I want. I would want just about anything ahead of that. I don't envy that task, and I'm not qualified for it. I'm happy to admit that. I don't want anything I'm not qualified for. I don't want anything I'm not in alignment to receive. That's the beauty of it, guys. But that's what happens when you start working a recovery program. And I also understand that anything I do want, that I want for a good reason, and that's everything I want. I want everything for good, guys. I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be an asshole. I don't want to oppress anybody. I don't want to make anybody think that I'm better than them. I want other people to rise to the same level or higher that I'm at, so we can all build together. And that's the key, guys. These are the things that you learn working a proper spiritual recovery program. It helps you to remove your ego, and so long as we're straight, and it's okay, guys, don't get me wrong, it's okay to have an ego. You got to believe in yourself. You got to have confidence. You got to understand that you are worthy and deserving of anything good in this world. But there's a difference between having a healthy ego and being egotistical, being ego-driven, and working from a place of the ego. And that is not, none of those things do you want to be. I don't want to be in those things, and I'm very fortunate that I'm not today. If I was, again, I know, because guys, you gotta understand, it takes more than a broken brain to build a functional life. And my brain, and just like all of us, while we're being active in alcoholism or addiction, are suffering with a broken brain. And I don't mean that in any belittling or hurtful way, but we are poisoning ourselves, and we are working from an inebriated cognitive ability for large parts of our day, night, whatever, right? So we can't possibly be rational, because we're working with irrational factors. We're working from a place of inebriation in one form or the other. It's poisoning yourself, guys, and it's going to slow you down. Like, all these things that I thought were so irrelevant are so incredibly relevant. Sleep is something I used to deprive myself of regularly. Now, I did have documented sleep issues as a young kid, and particularly as a teenager, and it was part of why I started drinking in the first place. I hated alcohol. My father was a raging alcoholic. I was a big drug addict. But I got, because of the damage the alcohol did, I didn't want to have anything to do with that. But it was, not sleeping, probably because of the drugs I was doing, that got me to start drinking in the first place. And then I started just mixing the drugs and the alcohol together, and I'd be able to sleep, but I'd also black out and do horrible. And that's the thing, I wasn't even really sleeping, I was blacking out every night. Not good, right? And then when I quit drinking, again, I got into the heroin and the cocaine. I guess when I just come off my last run, I was knocking at death's door, because I wasn't sleeping for 14, 15, 16 days at a time regularly. I mean, for that last 8-9 month run, last 8-9 months of the run, it was about a 10-year run. But it was that bad, guys. I literally would not sleep until finally my body just, boom, gave up. I'd go to put on a pair of socks to go to work, and boom, it'd be 3 days before anybody heard from me. My boss my boss at the time had a key to the apartment. He'd come in, take the pickup truck keys and just scowl at me, and knowing full well, it didn't matter what you said. I wasn't getting up for 3 days. I was a zombie. Guys, it's a wonder I didn't kill myself or somebody else, and I'm so incredibly fortunate and so incredibly grateful for that, because I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Unfortunately, I've learned that I can do the prison time, but I don't want to, and I certainly don't want to, with the notion of having hurt somebody, some innocent child or family or whatever. Nobody wants to deal with that. And I don't have to today, guys. That's the beauty of it today. My life continues to expand, and guys, as all these blessings come into my world, I keep thinking this has got to be as good as it gets, and I'm cool with that. Like, I'm so grateful for that. But I still get up every day and try to see where I can improve, because I know there's no limit to the amount of improvement I could get. I'm coming from a really deep hole, and as good as I'm doing, I know there's so much better that I could be doing out there. So I continue to try to pay attention, to ask my higher power, God, for information and for insight into where I can do better, for opportunities to make a bigger difference, to make a bigger impact. and that's one of the things I do. I look into in my decision making. I'm presented with a lot of really good options today. I'm very fortunate because I've been working my recovery program, guys. And anybody that works the recovery program as hard as I do, or to the best of your ability, then you're gonna get opportunity after opportunity. And again, when you continue focusing and coming on them, they're going to keep coming at you. And so many people will tell you, oh, it's good for the first 6 months, and that's true because the thing of it is, guys, when we come out of active addiction, active alcoholism, we are at such a deficit that it's very easy to see the blessings because you're going through a lot of major changes in a short period of time. So you're getting a lot of major improvements in a very short period of time. Well, a lot of times what happens is people then stop working their program to the best of their ability because they just plateau and they think that's okay. And then 6 months down the road, they're saying, oh, well, this second leg of my recovery isn't so good, and it's tough, and it's fight. But what they don't understand is they chose to stop working harder. They chose to stop going deeper, to stop putting in as much work. They may still be working to that level of recovery and staying clean and enjoying, much better life than they were. But every one of us, I'm guilty of it as well. There's areas that I could do better. I try to be intentional and try to continuously do better. But again, I know I fall short. We're human. It's part of the human condition. We're going to. But I do also see the beauty in continuing to try harder because every time I do, and again, it may not be like that, but if I continue to and I hold that pace and just keep trying to go, to pay attention and see where I can improve, every time I do, eventually something comes along and shows me the benefit of having done so. I was so incredibly happy 6 months ago. And then look at it now, and things have expanded so much more. Like, everything is just happening at a bigger, faster rate. Literally, in the last 3 weeks, the scope of the work that I've been doing has like quadrupled. And I understand that if I hold this pace and continue to learn, not only to handle that, but to get better at it, then it's going to continue to get better. So long as I continue applying myself to the best of my ability, day in and day out, things will continue to compound in a positive way. And that's the beauty of it today, guys. And the thing it is, now I'm starting to garner some resources, so now even bigger doors of opportunity are starting to open up for me because I'm being smart and not running out and saying, oh, I made some money, let's go buy a new Harley, let's go buy a new car, let's go buy a bunch of flashy shit so I can show off and think I'm, Mr. GQ, Mr. Big Shot. No, I've chosen to save all that money so that I can put it where I believe is appropriate, which is in rental properties and buying homes and investing in my future and investing in my business and making sure I have a rainy day fund for any wreckage of my past that continues to come up because there still are things, and though I've taken care of everything I'm aware of, I know there's still going to be more. There's still, shit's going to happen. And then because I'm saving and preparing for it, then I can welcome it, and then I can use that as one more way to prove to not only to myself but to my higher power and to society at large that this is in fact my new baseline. This is who I am. And as long as I keep doing that, things are going to keep getting better, and more people are going to invest in me, more opportunities. I had 3 customers this week ask me if I'm willing to take on the pinnacles of the work that I do, which are, boiler jobs, remodeling, like taking on remodeling. I got offered today a chance to be in charge of a roofing job on a building on Mass Ave in Cambridge that has 3 addresses. It's such a big building. Like, I don't have all the information on it yet, so I'm not going to throw numbers out there. But guys, this is huge, like, just amazing. Like, opportunities to make in a month what I used to make in a year are starting to present themselves to me. And it's because I've aligned myself with being a person that can receive such a reward. I mean, that's amazing. Again, I don't like to throw anything particular figures, finding things out there. But guys, it didn't start that way. Early in this recovery, when I hit $500 in the bank, I was thrilled. Now, I don't even notice when another 500 comes in or out. That's the beauty of it, guys. Things compound. Things get better because I've continued. And I've chosen not to be about that. When I And when I go and do guide jobs, and this is a very important point, so I'm going to put it out there. The money will come. It's inevitable. It is a reward. It is an energy, and it is what we base our society upon as far as goods and services. So that's inevitable. I don't focus on going out and trying to make the highest dollar on any one job. I go out and I focus on making sure I'm in the ballpark, and I'm being fair, and then I look for ways to be over and above for the value that I'm getting so that I stand out in every opportunity. And because I've continued to focus on that, not only financially, but in every other way, shape, and form, my business, my life, my world is expanding in the most beautiful ways, and the money is flowing like water in instead of just out for a change. Guys, it's a beautiful thing. It's just because I focus on the first things first, and I do it to the best of my ability, and I maintain my sobriety. Everything I have, everything I've learned, if I make that one mistake and I think that I'm somehow immune from addiction, I will lose it all, including and more likely starting with my life. And then everything goes away and I don't even get to enjoy what I've built. So first things have to be first. I have to stay sober no matter what. I don't stay sober because he said, because she said, because this. No. I stay sober because I have to stay sober. That is my number one. Cannot be broken, cannot be circumstantial. There cannot be conditions. If I put any of those things or allow any of those things to come between myself and my sobriety, then I guarantee you, I know for a fact, I lose everything and probably my life to start. And I won't let that happen today. I certainly hope I won't. My higher power certainly doesn't want that to happen for me. It doesn't have to happen for any of us, guys. We could literally eradicate addiction. And wouldn't that be something I know I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of the generation that eradicates addiction. Guys, that's the video for today. Always remember first things first. Always remember God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.